Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to part two of the Undefeated with every Tecmo Super Bowl team. We are in part two of the Washington Redskins series. We are sitting at 8-0, and we have the Houston Oilers coming up, then the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've already completed one mission with the Ernest Biner, over 600 yards. Then we get Gary Clark over 600, which I think is about 115 away. 3 kick returns, punt returns. Ain't gonna happen. Brian Mitchell is not doing his job, and I gotta let people score, and I'm having a hard time doing that. So the kick punt return is probably not gonna happen. But then we also have the 30 sacks. We're at 23 right now with Darrell Green. So yeah, I think we're looking good on that. So we might be looking at giving up only picking run plays for our first playoff games on defense for the first half. So that's going to make it a little tougher, but we'll see how it goes. We got a lot of season to go, so stay tuned as we delve into the second part in the second half, as well as the playoffs and hopefully Super Bowl of this series. So stay tuned. Enjoy. All right, guys, let's get into the second half of the first season here. We opened up with the Oilers, and we all know playing against the Oilers is going to be passing, and that's what Warren Moon was out doing. And if you guys ever played Tecmo Super Bowl, you know the second half of the season is the absolute toughest part. He connects with Ernest Givens here. Quite nervous. It was 7-3 going into the second quarter, but we had Ernest Biner, who looks like he was probably good. I wouldn't say he was excellent, but he was definitely good, which helped us out a lot. I mean, we definitely ran Ernest Biner this game. But we got him in here, get it back up 10-7. I knew this game was going to be close. Very rarely are you playing the Oilers and blowing them out just because their passing game is so elite. Then we get to the point right here where we know the passing. If you guys know anything about passing, again in Tecmo Bowl, later in the season, everything's guarded. So sometimes you just got to throw it up and let your stars make plays. And that's what we did there with Gary Clark. As you can see how excited I am, hands in the air. I didn't want to lose this game. It was a big game. So 17-7. And then, of course, you ain't going to stop the Oilers, though. They're going to throw the ball. Hayward Jeffries, he's good. There it is. I mean, it's pretty simple, guys. Try to play the pass game. I'm playing corner. I got to get off corner, but I got Darrell Green to get to his 30 sacks. Once I get his 30 sacks, I'm probably going to be switching to linebacker just because it's not the best playing corner. You're giving him all the time in the world back there to throw, especially on a team like this. But anyway, we get with Ernest Biner touchdown, and we got Gary Clark. This pretty much sealed it for me, getting him over 600 yards, which was by far important because I did not want to have my backups in for the full game of my first playoff game, because that would be tough. But 33-14 over the Oilers. Ernest Biner going for 244. He had such a huge game. He was pretty much the MVP of this team throughout the year. Brian Mitchell coming back, I really didn't care about because he has done nothing for me this year. I thought he'd be a better kick returner, but I kind of forget that he's not. He's just a slow guy, but it seems like he had quite the career in the NFL, just not on here for me. So I got the next game up against the Falcons here. I wasn't too worried about this game either. They do have Mike Rozier, good running back, but their passing is pretty weak. I'm already up 13-0. Biner scores. Michael Haynes does get a touchdown here. I started picking the run plays because Rozier was killing me. Rozier was killing me on the ground, so I was trying to key on him a little more, and you know how that goes. Keying on any kind of run play is going to open up the pass game. Tecmo Bowl was ahead of its time for sure. This is a quick one, though. 20-7. Biner, 156, 0 passing yards. Kind of shows you Deion Sanders was everywhere. I mean, I could barely throw anything. So it was an Ernest Biner type of game. 156, solid. This game we got against the Steelers. Steelers, I mean, the biggest concern with them, I always thought, was Merle Hodge. If you get him on a good day, he can get you. But Ernest Biner, again, coming through. I'm telling you, he's probably our MVP for sure. Gary Clark, I wish was doing this all season, but it took him till late in the season until he finally started getting some of these reverses to go. This gets me over the mark, again, over the 600, which was very, very important. And then we got Merle Hodge, like I told you. It caught me. Sometimes you just hit the wrong button, and I dove when I shouldn't have, and there was no catching old Merle. He was killing me. He had a good game this game. But this was not a too super challenging game. The Steelers' defense is a little tough, but not too bad. We're up 17-7. Bobby Brister connects with Lewis Lips here. It wasn't too, again, the game was pretty much already in the books, so we just kind of sat back, got that 17-14 win. Gary Clark going for 104, Merle Hodge 102, but Brister threw a pick, only threw 49 yards. Again, this wasn't, the score was probably a little more closer than what it should have been. Then we got the Cowboys coming back. The second game against all the division teams are tough, but Charles Mann opening up with a safety. We're up 12-0 right here after an Ernest Biner touchdown. After that, once you get a decent lead, it's pretty much in the books from there. But they still have Emmitt Smith. They got that offensive line, and Emmitt Smith comes through and takes about a 50-yard house call to me. So, it wasn't over, but again, late in the season, a lot of stuff happens. Fumbles happen, injuries happen, and like I said, we just you play with what you got. But Ernest Biner, again, coming through. Killer right there at the end, knocking the guy off at the 1-yard line. But they do come back here. Always a mistake. These damn reverses. Phoenix, I play here in a little bit, same way. And Calvin Martin, obviously, is excellent because holy cow, is he fast. But yeah, he throws that reverse on me, gets a touchdown. Again, a little embarrassed by that one. I didn't really a big fan of that. But we took the 22-14 win. Again, 0 passing yards. I don't know what it is, man. Couldn't get nothing going on the air, but we definitely pull out the win. Gaston Green coming back for the Rams. The dual-headed rushing attack of Kurt Warner and Cleveland Gary is very tough to go against, but defense was on point today. Tracy Rocker with the safety. Then we come back with an Ernest Biner touchdown, going up 12-0 again. Like I said, the Rams are a tough play. I can't wait to actually play with the Rams, with Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard. That's going to be a fun game, or a fun team to play with. A lot of weapons there as well. But, yeah, we're up 19-0 here. Jim Everett, a few Jim Rome fans out there. But, yeah, Kurt Warner here busted. This game wasn't over, man. Like I said, I was up 22-7, but Cleveland Gary and Kurt Warner came through, and I, for some reason, couldn't stop them. We got it to 22-14 here. I get a little mad at the end. You're going to get hit, and that fumble's coming out. Still 22-14. Cleveland Gary again, same play. They were killing me, so I switched to the linebacker, and that was a mistake because they have no speed at linebacker in Washington. So now 22-21. Getting a little nervous because all it takes is a onside kick that we recovered, luckily. So up 22-21, we only had 33 yards passing, 84 yards rushing. But I will tell you this, though, the passing game does come alive late in the season. So, after that win there, Buffalo 38-0 over the Jets. They clinched the division championship. I forgot how cool this animation is. Absolutely love it. I was just like, nostalgia big time for me. Then we got the Phoenix Cardinals on the docket, and I tell you, Johnny Johnson, he is going to get so many middle fingers this game. If you guys watch me in that right corner, it kills me this game. But nonetheless, we got that pick in the end zone to start the game, was huge, and then Biner being a beast, breaking tackles, scoring a touchdown, going up 7-0 was huge. Again, you wouldn't think Phoenix, man, but Johnny Johnson is for some reason Walter Payton in this game because holy cow. But I will say the unsung hero of my season and this game, especially Ricky Sanders. I wish I could get him the ball more. Just his routes are not ideal for getting him the ball, but Ricky Sanders was huge. And, of course, try to go to the deep kick, and what happens? Stupid-ass Johnny Johnson takes it to the house on me. Again, this is his second kick return against me off an onside kick in this season. So, yeah, this was disappointing. Shaking my fist in the air in the corner because that's ridiculous. Then we got ripping again. It gets to the point now where you just kind of let these balls roll because there's going to be guarded and there's guys everywhere. But luckily we threw it high and ripping's terrible. But nonetheless, Ricky Sanders is the man, the unsung hero. Jumps up, gets me a catch, and of course the touchdown. Run, Ricky, run, baby, because that's what we needed this game. Because this game was a shootout. It was a shootout, a crazy game. Of course, you got the punt here, and you guys would think, wow, Mike's going to get his first punt return of the season. And that's what we thought too, but old Howard there fumbles. And guess who recovers this goddamn fumble? Yep, you guessed it. Johnny frickin' Johnson recovers the fumble and houses it. Again, his second touchdown of the game, and no, that will not be his last touchdown of the game because for some reason, Johnny Johnson is the kryptonite to the Washington Redskins, I guess. So, again, we're to the point. Pretty much everybody's guarded, and we just said, screw it, let's go. Give it to Ricky Sanders, hopefully see what he can do. And, of course, Rippin overthrows him for an interception. Again, 21-14, I was sitting pretty, but now we are one score up, and they have the ball. And I think we all know Johnny Johnson is on the other side, and this guy, I tell you, I don't know what it is. Explain it to me. Tecmo Super Bowl experts, what the hell? Johnny Johnson? And I can't tackle him for some reason, I guess. But another Johnny Johnson touchdown ties the game 21-21, and we are struggling here. But, of course, we look up there, see Art Monk by himself. That just makes you feel good. And as long as Mark Rippon doesn't overthrow him, and he doesn't, that makes it a hell of a lot easier, and we go back up 28-21. And like I said, I always feel like I score too fast sometimes because when Phoenix gets that ball back, you just never know what's going to happen. And luckily, Darrell Green locks up his 30th sack with a safety, Ernest Biner touchdown, and we are sitting a lot more comfortable now. Now we're sitting up, going up 37-21. But is it over? It should be, because, there's a fumble, and I'm just Darrell Green's just waiting to get that ball. But who gets the damn ball? Johnny M.F. Johnson. And me in the right-hand corner there is done, put his controller down, and is ready to give the biggest of middle fingers to Johnny Johnson, because that is his 4th touchdown of the game. None really by running, other than I think one, but that's about it. And it was just ridiculous. So we were pissed off enough to go for it in the last play here. And who do we throw it to? The unsung hero, Ricky Sanders. Thank God, get out of this game, because Johnny Johnson, luckily I will not see him in the playoffs, because that's ridiculous. He wasn't even the leading rusher. Ricky Prohl was the leading rusher, but Johnny Johnson was the MVP of that game by far for them. But Mark Rippon, 351. Give it up for me, finally. The Giants losing that game there can clinch the division for us, which was huge. Hands in the air. We are stoked, ready to go, knowing we're going to get at least hopefully a bye in the first round. Niners, again, tough team to play in the playoffs. Dreading it, because I'm probably going to see them at some point, but hopefully it's not for a while. Then we got the next game coming up against the Giants. This one was huge. The Giants are so hard. I would say they're the best team in the game. But it lucks out when something like this happens. Otis Anderson hurt within the first minute of the game. Now it's just David Meggett, who, again, also with Johnny Johnson, I'm finding out is my kryptonite. But, of course, you luck out. You get the backup in like Ron Carthon, and guess what happens? Get the fumble. Big recovery. I think it was Todd Bowles, if I think gets the recovery, and that was huge. Brian Mitchell getting injured, of course, because that's his 3rd time getting injured this season. Then here it is. This is the game changer. This turned the whole game around. We punted off to David Meggett, who, again, kills me in Tecmo Super Bowl. And guess what? Bam. He ain't getting up. He's hurt. Otis Anderson, David Meggett, both hurt. I look, as you see in the right corner, very excited. Finally, might have a chance in this game, because, man, there was a battle. This is 3-0, guys, all the way through. It's now 10-0. This is in the 3rd quarter. I am ecstatic. We finished up 10-0. That was the 4th quarter, actually. Again, Mark Rippon, 0 passing yards, only 66 rushing yards by Mark Rippon. Holy cow. Yeah, that was a hell of a game. Cincinnati locking up the division in the AFC Central. We didn't care. We just were happy to get the hell out of that game against New York, because that was a killer game for us, man. Luckily, they got hurt, but I know I'm going to see them in the playoffs again. So, yep. Then we got, of course, the Eagles, our last game of the season. This is the lockup, the first undefeated regular season for us. Todd Bowles with the recovery of Keith Byers' fumble. And then, what do you know? Ernest Biner, our MVP of the season, comes through, and he fumbles to Mike Golick, of course, because 0-0, it can't be easy, guys. It can't be easy to go undefeated. And this game is 100%, taught me that it will not be easy to go undefeated with all these teams. But Mark Rippon, 4th down, coming around the corner, had to go for it, gets a rollout, big score there. So we are up 7-0 here, going to punt. And, I sit there and think, man, I wish I could get a punt return here and there, but what do you know? We get a big fumble and a big return. Ernest Biner does the Johnny Johnson and returns a punt or fumbled punt for a touchdown. Again, Biner's been our MVP. I mean, it's nothing. Can't say nothing more than that. Keith Byers does put it on the turf again for us. And like I said, we've pretty much locked it up here. It's 14-0. I'm feeling real good going in here. We got Art Monk sitting by himself up there. We're throwing it. Big catch. Dekes out 3 guys at the ground. And we are still going Art Monk. Again, guys, the most underrated receiver probably in the NFL history. Gets us a big touchdown. Now we're up 21-0. This is we're ready to pop up our champagne. I mean, but we do take out QB Eagles. That's just a little revenge on my end because of that touchdown he scored for us early in the season. So Jim McMahon comes in the first play. Keith Byers around the corner, breaks my tackle, and Keith Byers takes it 90-plus yards for a touchdown. I was a little overconfident there, thinking Jim McMahon's coming in and it's going to be okay. But, yeah, it was not not so okay. But 21-7, we were still very confident going into it, and that was it, guys. This locks up our first undefeated regular season. Mark Rippon 155, and this cool little feature too. I mean, after this is done here, we get the division champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Green Bay Packers, and then it shows off the standings. So we're gonna go through the standings real quick, and then get you guys ready for the outro. So the Buffalo Bills are going to be a big game against us, 514 yards, and hopefully we don't see them in the playoffs. The Bengals taking the Central over the Oilers is actually fairly uncommon. Then we got the Chiefs, the Raiders making the playoffs, two very hard teams to play if they come over from the AFC side. Of course, those 16-0 Washington Redskins, boys. But then the Giants and Eagles making it's going to be tough. And then Packers, Bears, not too worried about either of those two teams. The Bears are a little tougher, but I think we've beat them once, we can beat them again. And then the Niners, of course. That's going to be a tough one. But the Saints being 7-6, there's your playoff brackets. The Bills were the number 1 seed, playing the Raiders or Chiefs, Oilers, Dolphins, Bengals. Come over to our side, and we got the winner of the Bears-Packers game, but that top of the bracket's going to be tough, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so the second half of our first season with the Washington Redskins is in the books. We finished undefeated. I didn't think we'd have too hard of a problem, even though a couple of those last games were really tough. That Phoenix game was tough. The Giants game was tough. Dave Mega getting hurt was obviously a godsend for us. Because that guy kills me, man. I mean, he kills me in Tecmo every time. So yeah, we are on to the playoffs now. That's going to be a completely separate video. We're going to do playoffs plus season recap. So yeah, this one's in the book. So we have completed the easy task. We have completed the medium task. We were not able to complete the hard task, the kickoff and punt returns. We just didn't have many opportunities with Brian Mitchell. But punt returns were tough anyway. Once he got hurt, though, and we got to put in Ricky Sanders, that was a little better of a chance, but we got knocked down at the 10 and the 5 yard line a few times. So yeah, so we only are able to pick off or run plays on offense for the first quarter of the first half of our first playoff game. So yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. It'll be a hindrance for sure. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Looks like the playoffs, it looks like we're going to play the winner of the Bears and the Packers. That top side of the playoffs looks tough as hell. So, yeah, we're going to run into either the Eagles, the Giants, or the Niners coming in, most likely the conference championship. So, that's going to be a tough one to get through, but we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, guys, this one's in the books. We are on our way to our first undefeated season, and we'll be able to check off the Washington Redskins off our list and then head on to the next team. So, I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that great stuff, you know that's much appreciated. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. So stay tuned for the playoffs when we come back on the Gaming Like It's 1999. See you guys later. Bye-bye.